I was happier yesterday than I was before Halloween. I was so depressed. I didn't want to get out of bed.
When you have lots of passion behind your business and you're trying to get it started, but you have 50 and then 50 rejections, 50 no's, how do you keep going?
I'm Toby Lyles, my esteemed son.
Maverick Lyles.
This is the Voices on the Wind podcast. We're interviewing John Chernogorec today. He was kind enough to sit down with us. He runs Downtown Vinyl here in Cheyenne, Wyoming, and started this business. He'd never been a business owner before, and now he's running a kind of a passion project. So fun to sit down with him.
And our passion project, maybe pretty much is, our newsletter. And if you have not checked that out already, that's votw.substack.com. That's just, we just have a lot of fun stories as well as takeaways from the podcast. So if you have not checked that out, please do.
Yeah, and this is John Chernogorec of Downtown Vinyl.
Thinking really deep here, like not just deep level here, but deep as into my childhood, my teenage years, my time in the Marines. How a song, again, I love Leonard Skinner, like I told you earlier, but just hearing Freebird brings back memories of my dad, my brother, and I in my dad's pickup truck when I was about 8. And, all of us playing air guitar. It sounds so silly, but just reliving those moments changes who I am right now, right? Because we all have bad moments, but once I have a start of a bad moment, I'll put on Freebird here at the store.
Okay. And
just be like, okay, everything's great. Let's go have a good time now, right? Or I'll even switch to, things like B.B. King. I love how B.B. King, when he starts playing those first 2 chords, you're like, oh, this is B.B. King? Now I could just sit here and it's a surreal moment, but it's also a the rest of the world doesn't exist type of moments. So it's really cool. Mm. Even more so now that I could do it all day, every day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You were. You told me earlier you've done the Marines.
Yes.
And then you worked in another kind of government job at the BLM for how many years?
So I was at the Bureau of Land Management for 6 years.
6 years. Okay.
6 years.
It moved up quite a bit, sounds like.
I did. It was a lot of fun. But I got to the point to where I wanted to do my own thing. Mm-hmm. In a sense, be my own boss. Mm-hmm. And now I get to do that.
I'm just going to go out on a limb. And
do it.
And maybe it's because I know you now. I'm seeing you now, as a record store owner. But I know you've had records for a long time. You said that. There's something about government job that doesn't feel 100% you.
You're right. It was almost a year ago. We'll say about May 2025. I don't want to say I was struggling at the BLM, but I was. There were so many rules and restrictions, which they have their own place. Mm-hmm. But I was just like, I want to go out. I want to do my own thing. I don't want to be cooped in a cage. And now, oddly enough, I've had this store since Halloween 2025. Before Halloween, I would come home from work and I would be aggravated. Not that the people were bad, it's just situations, right? And now, over the last 120-ish days or so, I come home, and even if you wanted to ask my wife right now, she says, I'm happier today than I was yesterday, which means I was happier yesterday than I was before Halloween.
Wow.
So to be honest, I have real purpose. I really enjoy what I do. And I love connecting with people because people come into the store and they're, oh yeah, I remember that record. I remember this. I remember that. And I'm like, oh yeah, okay. Please tell me about your story, whatever that may be, because I love building the connection with people. Yeah, sure, selling records and doing that part is one part of the business, but building the relationship is more important to me than the actual sale.
Was there a moment for you when you said, screw this, I'm I'm out of here? Did you quit right away?
I had quite a few bad moments at the BLM. Again, it wasn't the people, it was just the circumstances. So I just said, okay, I see how things are going. I talked to my wife, because that's most important. And I was like, hey, her name's Kim. I was like, hey, Kim, I want to go do something. I've been wanting to do something for myself, basically by myself, for a long time. She goes, well, figure it out. Make sure that you and I are good. Make sure the financial piece is good. But if you want to go do it, go do it. So having that support from my wife was so instrumental to me getting to this point.
Was it hard to approach her about that? Was that, I mean, I'm not talking about like, is your wife easy to approach? I'm asking, you still have to make that decision of walking away from a job.
So it was a very hard struggle. It really was. Mentally, which then carried on to physically, because I was like doubting who I was, what I was doing, all those things that come naturally. But what motivated me to get to this point, obviously, is the boss that I had at the BLM. I actually approached him in June of last year, and I said, hey, his name's Matt. I was like, hey, Matt, I'm thinking about doing this. Because he's still a really good friend of mine to this day. He would take his hat, kind of turn it back. Okay, I'm Matt, your friend. Or, okay, I'm Matt, your boss.
Oh, wow.
Which that helped a lot.
He would physically turn his hat.
Yes. Yes.
It's a great strategy. So you talk to your boss, and then the next week you take action. Was that action the business plan, or was it something even before that?
So I talked to Matt one day.
Okay.
And then, oddly enough, I took lunch break that day because I talked to him in the morning.
All right.
Got some work done, and then I took lunch break, and then I started writing a business plan right at lunch break that day. Yeah.
Wow. Is that what you did first?
Yeah.
Okay. And how did you go about getting securing money?
Oh, geez, that was a big pain in the butt.
Ah, okay.
Because I could go into a bank or call a bank or email it, whatever, contact the bank somehow. Hey, I'm John. And they're like, hey, that's nice. That's great.
Where's your collateral?
Yeah.
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 So did you hit up a few banks?
Yes.
And how many yes responses did you get?
I got 2
Okay.
out of about 50.
No.
So it was
50.
It was like a 2% yes rate.
So you go to the banks, and a 50 is a big number.
Yeah.
How did that feel to get constant rejections about what is quickly becoming your dream or has been your dream? And then the second, how does it feel, and why did you keep on going?
And my wife will verify this. There was many days where it's just like, I really, really want to follow through on my dream. I keep on getting slapped in the face, for lack of better terms. And she goes, at what point are you going to give up? I said, I'll put a time limit on the banks and getting the money part.
Okay.
And that time limit for me was 120 days.
So you said, I will continue doing this for 120 days.
Yeah. Keep trying. I'm like that little engine that could. Right. So luckily for me, things happened at about day 62.
Wow.
But this business really tested that will of mine. It was a Saturday. It was the middle of July, so it was like the week after 4th of July. And I've been trying for weeks, just trying to get somebody to help me financially. And I forget, it was maybe like July 12th or something, one of those days. But I remember it was a Saturday. I didn't want to wake up. I didn't want to get out of bed. I didn't want to do anything. And then our dog, she's a black lab German Shepherd mix, black coat with a white little T on her chest. She got up, ate breakfast, did her thing, and then it was like noon, and I'm still in bed because I was so depressed, and it's kind of hard to say still to this day, but I was depressed. I was really depressed, and she literally jumps on the bed, and she likes to get on top of me, put her front paws on my chest, and then she just started licking my face because she knew something wasn't right. It's awesome how dogs know those things. And she basically said, without saying words, "Come play." She was like, "Okay, stop being pitiful. Pay attention to me, and things will be okay."
So you keep pushing, which is pretty incredible.
Mm-hmm.
And then you got your first yes at some point.
Yes, I did.
Were you shocked?
That would not be the word I use.
Okay.
It's, how can I say this? When I got that yes, I was sitting at my computer at my desk at home, and I'm just like, what the? And my wife was downstairs, and then she hears this like moan from me. She goes, "Are you dying?" I'm like, "I think so. I'm not positive, but I think so." And she goes, "What's going on?" I'm like, someone finally said yes. I thought the world stopped, because that's how excited I was. And it was even better that she was there with me that day. And then it turned into, oh, crap, yeah, this is real now.
Now it's a real thing.
Yeah.
Everything else comes after it.
Yeah.
Wow. Was there something in the middle of that where you just were like, I don't know how I'm going to do this?
There was
like almost hard stops, right? Like, I don't know how to do it. I can't do it. I don't have the skills to do this. I don't know someone who knows how to do this.
Yeah, there was a lot of moments where I was just completely lost, to be honest. And with that, though, I didn't want to stop. It was like a weird, like, drug.
Really?
It was so addicting, and it still is, because yeah, I could have given up at any moment up until October 31st. I could have. But I don't give up on things, especially on something that I truly want to be a part of, like my marriage. Yeah, we all could give up on our marriage at any point. But to make things better and stronger for tomorrow, I can't give up today. So that's why I've been married to my wife for 10 years. I'll admit there's been days, to include doing the business part, where my wife has questioned our relationship, which was well within her rights. I even questioned it. But our relationship is stronger today because we wouldn't give up on each other. The same could be true for the business.
Tell me about the day when you grab the keys to this place where John is the owner of Downtown Final.
So October 31st, it was slightly after 10 o'clock when I signed the papers. All of us, my wife, my dog, and myself got in the car, drove to the store, and I'm like all giddy.
Yeah.
Like, hey, I'm a kid that owns the candy store this time.
That's true. Yeah. Yeah.
So I get the key, I unlock the door, and I was even struggling trying to unlock the door, and I'm like, I've turned keys and locks like 6 billion times in my lifetime. Why can't I open this door? So I open the door, and Athena just starts running around. It was really cool. And then I was like, oh, wait. So I took the key and I locked the door, and I just like sat here, engulfed myself in all the entire environment for like 20 minutes. And I'll admit, yeah, I cried some because it was a great moment of joy. And then I was like, okay, now the work has to kick in.
When I was starting my business or a little side hustle, calling was one method I had. And yeah, it's not easy. It is not easy. And then every time you hear that phone, after you've had like 10 no's already, and you just know the other one's going to be no, but you're still calling anyway. Got to go through the voice message. It is its own thing. And calling banks is a whole different thing. When you're trying every call, you're trying to get a yes, but you gotta go through the whole thing and still get a no over and over and over again. When he was there, and he's like, this dog, but he wasn't gonna get up before that. Like that is part of the entrepreneurship journey that I don't think is talked about a lot, which is not, you're alone trying to get a yes, but you just keep getting no.
Mm-hmm.
And there's only so much, energy you have in yourself then to keep going. And sometimes you need someone else, and obviously a dog works. It's pretty good as well. My cats were not that helpful when it came to those matters. But yeah, I thought, but it takes so much grit because he still kept going. He didn't just go the dog howling, but like he kept going.
Mm-hmm.
That was enough motivation, which says that he had enough motivation to get motivated, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
That's really powerful.
Mm-hmm.
And that takes a different kind of person to be able to take that many no's and know there's going to be a yes at the end, or at least keep going for a yes at the end.
Mm-hmm.
And his strategy was really good too. So I think it was a good takeaway of finding that of maybe surrounding yourself with people, but also keep pushing for those things that are important, because they will come eventually. Because he did. He got the money he needed. So I thought that was really, I felt like that was a good example of what we should do as entrepreneurs.
You know, his love for vinyl and just music, it's just a hobby.
Yeah.
He could have just kept it as a hobby.
Yeah.
But he had the grit to keep pushing and make that into a business.
Yeah.
So it's like this kind of fun thing. It's like this almost contradiction. There's a fun, I like this. This heals me.
Yeah.
And then this traumatizes me starting this business for him. But it eventually, obviously, he owns Downtown Vinyl, and he's helping a lot of other people. It grew up much further, much larger than his own passion.
Yeah.
Well, John, I appreciate you being on, and enjoy how you built that passion, and maybe we all build what's in our heart.
Yeah.
So until then, my friends, happy sailing.